Mark Vassella, your strong performance was helped by home building demand. What's your forward orders telling you about strength in construction and whether it will continue?
Yeah, hi Elise. Very strong half, no doubt. Some of that discretionary spend that we've seen in the market has manifested itself in alterations and additions for us. We've guided to a similarly strong second half, and what our customers are telling us is that their order books are really quite strong and full through the second half. And I would also say that from our perspective, the home builder initiative which the government put in place, whilst we've had really good orders in relation to home builder, we actually haven't yet seen that flow through into volume. So I think that will support our second half outlook as well.
Given what you're seeing, does the construction industry need an extension to home builder, or do you believe that demand will stand by itself?
It seems really quite strong, Elise, and I'm not sure even if there was more stimulus now, you could actually get much more into the supply chain. It seems to me like the supply chain is quite tight.
In your briefings today, you made a big deal out of your commitment to addressing climate change, but you set no new targets. Why not?
Well, we're in the third year of our program around the target to reduce intensity at each of our steelmaking facilities by 1% year on year. That adds up to about a 12% reduction by 2030, so a significant target that we set 3 years ago.
So do you think you'll make that 12% reduction by 2030?
It's a significant challenge for our businesses. A 1% year-on-year continual reduction in intensity is not insignificant. It requires capital investment. We're getting our head around what that looks like, and there's a raft of projects that are being undertaken across our businesses to improve our absolute emissions and our intensity numbers. So we've set the target. We've gone out there publicly with it. We're measured by it. It's part of our performance, our key performance indicators. And as I said, year one we were successful, year two not so, but we're still holding to those targets.
You spoke today about the technologies that may make green steel possible. On hydrogen-based iron making, which is the biggest hope for the industry, the cost of that's currently, for hydrogen, around $48 a gigajoule, or 5 times the cost of gas. Now, you said there's a lot more to do to make it competitive. Like what?
There's not a quick fix here, and I guess that was my point today. Whilst we see hydrogen iron making technologies as very interesting and very prospective and quite exciting, I still believe it's some time off, and certainly outside the investment window that we have for the number 5 blast furnace reline.
What is some time off?
There's people who are much smarter than me that are talking about significant change in hydrogen iron making occurring in the 30s and the 40s.
Rio Tinto, BHP and Fortescue, in fact, all made a big deal about climate change in their results last week and what they're doing about it. Why are you all really focusing on this now?
I think we're all getting the signals from the capital markets, we're getting the signals from our shareholders, we're getting the signal from our employees. We understand the role that we need to play in decarbonising industries that are greenhouse gas emission intensive like ours. So we understand there's a responsibility. We committed early to the Paris Accord. We've made significant reductions in greenhouse gas emissions across our portfolio, some 30% following the reduction in steelmaking in the Illawarra in 2011. So early on we understood where this market was moving, and our responsibility as a responsible corporate citizen to deal with those issues front on, and that's why we're committing further resource to it today.
The UK and the EU are now seriously considering trade sanctions against goods and services of companies or countries who aren't taking what they view an active role in addressing climate change and adopting Paris. Biden could go down that path with the US now. Is it something that should worry corporate Australia?
Well, I think things like border taxes or carbon taxes are also part of that policy position that I outlined earlier. So it's much broader than just energy costs. So this is a collective issue, and I suspect the change you've seen in North America already, our government, I think, in Australia has signalled a movement towards a different set of targets. We're getting on with what we need to do to reduce our emissions. We think that's real. What can we change here and now? Governments will set their own targets, but you know what I'm focused on and what I can control are the things that we put effort and time and resource into.
Would it give you a greater level of comfort if the government just signed up to Paris?
Well, I think at least the US is a classic example. Even though there's been a change in policy there just in the last couple of months with the new administration, that hasn't really changed what we've been doing in North America in our business to get after reductions in greenhouse gases, improve our intensity, improve our efficiencies, and build a story for a long-term sustainable business. So governments come and go and policies come and go. I think what's really important is what we do with what we can control and make sure that we're reacting the way we feel is appropriate to make sure we've got a sustainable business model moving forward.
Mark Vassella, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.